Greetings, humanity, and welcome to Channel Other Doc. I'm Jim. I use he/him pronouns, and this is our short campaign of Dune: Adventures in the Imperium, a game by Modiphius Entertainment that adapts the universe of Frank Herbert's Dune series. I'm very excited. We're getting back into this. It's 2023, quite suddenly, and so we're gonna see if we can remember where we were and see if we can keep going. We're going to go around and say hi to everybody, see who they are and who they're playing. Janie will be on her way, I believe. Just having to take care of some things, and hopefully we'll be popping in at some point. And we might go to break when that happens. We'll see. But hopefully she'll be able to join us soon. In the meantime, let us go around and say hi to everybody, starting with Lynn. Hello.
Hey. Oh, happy to be back with this and see where all the plotting goes. But yeah, I am Lynn Chive, and tonight I am playing Talus Jado Chive. The house is meant at an aid to the consort.
Excellent. And now we will head over to Jen. Hello.
Hey, I'm Jen. They, them pronouns, and I'm playing Hunter Reese, currently a smuggler for House Versai, but in the past, the heir of a house that was destroyed. Not that everybody knows that.
No. I don't think many people know that at all, actually. But now we shall head over to Nicky. Hello.
Hello there, I'm Nicky, and I am playing Silas Chin, bodyguard to the heir of House Versai.
Excellent. And of course, I am playing Nero Ionis Versai, utter bastard. Before we dive in, just as a reminder, like we do with the other games on this channel, we're going to be using the X card, the N card, and the O card. If we hit something that's crossing a line for us, any of us can type an X in the Zoom video chat or anywhere else. Hold up a card, make an X symbol, and we'll back up and do something else. If something happens that we're okay having in the game, but we don't want a graphic description of it, we can type an N in the Zoom chat, and we'll fade to black on it or put it behind a veil. So it'll be there, but we won't go into detail. Finally, if we're exploring a topic or an area of roleplay that's particularly intense for us, but we want to keep going anyway, we can put an O in the chat to let us know that we're doing okay, or that we're all good to keep piling on the drama. Something else we can do is put an O with a question mark after it when we're moving into a difficult topic, or if we say or we do something and then think maybe that might have been a little too much. Then everyone else can respond to that, again with an X, an N, or an O to let us know if we're still doing okay. We're also using the pause. If any of us needs to take some time, we can ask for a pause in the game while we discuss things, or just take a break for as long as anyone needs. As a reminder, just a few content warnings. This game may contain references to violence, betrayal, drug use, imperial oppression, body horror, colonialism, worms, hallucination, thirst, and starvation. You can see that coming by in the chat if you type ! Dune CW, that content warning, and that'll pop up. That's going to show up periodically, just on the roll. It'll keep popping up from time to time, so folks can see it. And finally, please remember that we have an open door policy, which means that any of us and any of you can feel free to step away from this at any time if we need to. It is just a game, and mental health is always more important. And so, without further ado, I shall hand things over to our GM, Brian. Hello.
Hello. Happy New Year, everybody, and welcome back. We are, we did take a couple of weweeks off, mostly for holiday purposes, because everyone is somewhere else during the holidays usually, or enough of us were. And so we're going to spend basically this entire session trying to remember what we were doing. So let's see. I'm going to start actually with our smuggler and our spy, because when we left you were at that lab, that fake island that had a whole bunch of underwater stuff, and you were messing around in it. Do you wish to still be there, or do you wish to have had some time pass? Well, actually, some time has passed no matter what. The question is how much time. And you can have like a little bit of time having passed, and you've had some more time to explore in this place, or you can have even more time pass, having explored and like ended up someplace else. So however you want to do it, we can work with it either way.
Like Hunter wants to go and show the tech that he took out of the hallway to somebody, so he would be perfectly happy being back, and might be like a little bit reserved when yeah. Oh, can everybody put their character names in their thing so that I don't lose my mind? Yeah.
Oh, it resets every
Sorry
time.
about that.
Yeah, it does reset. Oh, speaking of character names, while we're doing that, we have not come up with a name for the former heir. And without spoiling anything, I'm just going to point out that name is going to be important sometime in the near future. So we might want to do that. I mean, I'm happy to, but I'm also open to any suggestions that any of you have about what that person is like. We have the former heir is a blank slate, by the way. We have nothing. We have no. We could put anything on them we want.
The current heir is Rose. Have the former heir be Daisy.
We figured we figured the transition would be easier for them.
Yeah, you have to maintain the theme. That's it.
Yep.
I mean, it could be a
like
thing.
The least Dune name.
Oh, 100%. I love it, actually. I like that a lot.
It's messing up our naming stuff. They must go.
Yeah, anybody in this setting named Daisy is someone to be very afraid of.
I'm actually, I'm even going through the House Atreides names, and there are names of flowers in here.
Oh, are there? Okay, I didn't know
I'm
that.
seeing Lily right now.
Okay, fair enough.
Which is fascinating because, like, is this a name that's still connected to a thing that grows somewhere, or is it just a name and
no one knows?
Look up the etymology. And
some of them are. That's a good point. Yeah.
No one just knows that's a good name. That's just a good.
Yeah,
I don't know where it came from.
Solid name.
Nice.
Yeah.
Or there's
could have been a bird. Could have been a type of bird. Who knows?
Yeah.
There's somebody who makes up fake meanings and
That's it.
sells books to expectant parents.
Right. It was.
See, you know what? See, we're in charge of the baby name things and whatever.
Some sort of terrifying venomous bird. That's
whatever. We can make up meanings and just put them on the thing. No one really
That's how it goes.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Daisy's a type of fish.
Yeah, it's a staple of our planet's cuisine.
Yes.
That's it.
More dangerous fish types. Are we going with Daisy? Is that what we're doing?
I think we're going. I think we're stuck with it now. We can't go anywhere. We got Daisy.
For my part, for the I'm fine with us advancing as far as us having gotten off the storage and research hidden plant pretty quickly. I do want to ask. I know that Hunter did not tell me that he took stuff, the surveillance stuff.
Oh, that's true.
Did Hunter let me know it was there? That there was. Did Hunter let me know what he found?
Everything except for the outside surveillance thing was his plan. Was to not tell you about that and to take that. If that's not comfortable, let me know. But that's sort of his.
No, I'm fine. It's if I know that there is surveillance equipment, then that was advanced. I probably would have tried to see if there was a way to find out, see if it was transmitting out, that kind of thing, or if it was.
That there was surveillance equipment that was part of the place, but the
and you actually
surveillance thing.
You managed to mess with that. That's true.
Yeah, we messed with that. We did a loop.
Yeah. So you're safe from that one. But I think other than that, Hunter did hide the existence of the other one from you.
If I don't know about it, then there's nothing. If I did know about it, I probably also would have taken some. Thinking, we should probably take some, and he would.
Hunter is in search of an ace to put up his sleeve.
Yeah.
All right.
Fair point. Okay. Speaking of surveillance equipment, Silas, you also found your team found basically got a tiny chunk of the recordings of the transmissions that have been happening
Yes.
from the island you were on, and island is a bold term for what you were on. It was really small, but unlike the one that Hunter and Nero were on the other hand, it was extraordinarily well protected.
Mm.
So yeah, you guys have that too, and we can assume that I'm assuming that you're bringing that back to have someone
Yeah.
sift through. Okay.
Yeah, so I'll have someone sifting, and also like I mentioned the last time, I'm gonna try to track down the manufacturers of those equipment there and find out who
That's
the
right.
buyer is.
That's exactly right. Yeah. Okay. So you're on that right now, mostly.
Yeah.
Okay. And also because we've skipped forward in time, that doesn't mean that you cannot have found some other stuff out. So if at any point you have questions about any of this, ask them at that time, and we'll assume that you did it when you were back at the thing.
All right. Oh yeah, and I'll say at some point Silas, like maybe on the day after he comes back from the island, he will find Talus and tell them that the two mentats are dead, the ones that we've been tracking.
That's something Talus might want to know.
Yes.
Well, that means whatever information you have is very important.
Yeah. So I will reveal it to you, and I guess Silas will give his suspicion that he thinks that there's another party involved that we haven't found out about yet. The one that is like controlling the island that he found. And he'll also give you the coordinates in case you want to visit it for yourself. And tell you, go underwater. Do not drive directly
Here's
the island.
Here's how I didn't die when I visited that island. So yeah.
Yes.
I don't think I ever got the answer. Like I was using my parsec monkey
That's right.
try to dig up dirt on the consort, and I don't think I got an answer. Like I don't think I got any scuttlebutt at all.
That's right. Most of what you have, okay, given that you are on the planet where she was seen before, you're mostly just trying to get in. Are you mostly just like kind of the natives? Are you asking them, or not even the natives, but the people that? Oh, you're muted. You are muted.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you over the sound of my own voice.
I've been there.
I'm asking like the people in the household who are preparing for her coming.
Okay, you're starting with that.
Have worked with her before. Like I'm not asking, the people outside about the consort. They don't know. I'm asking people who would have had contact with her. And
right.
Yeah,
well, I will point out some of the people outside probably will, because you have memories of her having been here before. Sure. So, but those people will be fewer in number for obvious reasons, because they would have had to have been here back when you were here.
And I want gossip that Versai will care about.
That makes a lot more sense. Although, but there could also be some of that. What specifically, or like, what questions are you asking? I guess is the big. Let me rephrase that. What information are you trying to get? That may be different from the questions you're asking.
Right. Two main things, right? One is sort of like the overall vibe amongst those serving the house about her, and whether there are people who don't enjoy her. And the other would be like if she has like weaknesses, foibles, like, what can push her buttons, which is the thing that servants would often know. Like, here's the thing to try to stop around her, or like make sure that she doesn't get like, if you give her Skittles, take out all the orange ones, like that, all that kind of stuff.
Never serve cold tea, that kind of thing.
Right.
So interestingly, she doesn't have a whole lot of diva behavior as far as that goes. What you're getting from those that are close to her is that she is actually
it doesn't have to be diva-esque. Right.
No, it doesn't. But I was just letting you know. Interestingly enough, you're not getting a lot of that
Right.
because that is a lot of her persona makes one think that's what she would be like, and
Right.
in private she's not. However, the first thing that you learn is that she is lavish with her rewards when someone does what she wants them to, and she is equally savage with the punishments when they don't. And to the extent that she tends to go overboard in both directions.
Got it.
She, for all of that, she doesn't seem to be capricious. She only ever does these things in response to things that she perceives as good or bad. She's not just doing it to show power. She's doing it.
Right.
She's doing it to guide people towards certain behavior. And for the most part, it seems to be working, because even those that do not like that don't like her, i.e., most of the ones that have been punished by her at some point or have seen her go overboard with the punishment, like most of them have been sufficiently cowed, and the ones that haven't have left. they just don't work for the house anymore.
Can you give me like one example of a punishment that she might have meted out that everyone is like pretty clear is particularly excessive?
Yes. So it happened quite recently, actually. So she was making her preparations to come here, and as you may have heard, she showed up with basically not anyone knowing. But one person in her employ let it slip, let something that they thought was innocuous slip, that she realized could conceivably, like, the whole jig would be up if someone put the pieces together. So not only, first off, that person was supposed to be here. That person was supposed to be part of her entourage. So not only did that person not get to come here, that person and their entire family are now no longer even on the home world. The person or people that you've talked to that know about this don't know any more than that, but they do know that those people are gone now. They are so it's like, it's not just that they didn't come along, they couldn't be found to try to get them to come along.
Hopefully just exiled.
Yes,
right?
one hopes.
Thanks. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As far as the other side of it goes, though, I mean, yeah, there have been people that have been granted. She has a really good idea of figuring out what it is people want, so that she can give it to them. And so those are the rewards that she tends to give people, as opposed to just kind of a generic, like, I mean, if money is what they want, she just gives them a hell of a lot of money. But that's often not what it is. It's usually something else. So she will give that to them and then bump it up a couple of levels.
Got it. Okay. Thank you.
And let's see, Silas, you did you let Talis know about that information that your team got too?
Oh yeah,
That they're
I'll be
sifting through?
sharing.
Okay. Okay, so just to recap what that is a ton of communications from all over this planet. But the problem is it hasn't been collated or sorted. It's literally just anything that particular surveillance equipment was able to pick up. Which means mostly like radio waves and microwave transmissions and things like that. And as I recall, Silas, you've got your team on it. They're sifting through it. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay,
Trying to see
Silas, I
anything
want you to know it exists. So,
All right. Yeah, I mostly to find out if there's anything important in it, and also if there's a way sifting through it, I can find out who are the owners of the 5 usernames that's been checking in every 4 weeks.
That is the big one. That
Yeah.
plus you're trying to figure out who manufactured the equipment, right?
Yeah, or rather, who bought those specific equipment.
Okay. Finding out. Let's see. Interestingly, finding out who manufactured it is initially much easier than finding out who bought it. Though finding out who manufactured it takes a while because are you doing it personally or are you having someone on it?
Yeah, I'll put someone on it.
Okay. It takes them a while, but they do finally come back to you and they say, this appears to have been made here on World.
And who's the vendor?
We were able to trace it to a certain point, sir, but you know those parts of the map that we're not supposed to go to? It looks like it came from there.
Wait, these parts, are they like just uninhabited or are they like Black Ops zone?
Good question. You have been told they're uninhabited. And all of the information you've been able to dig up from the previous tenants here, meaning the house that ran the place before you, they also report that it is uninhabited.
Huh. And as far as Silas knows, there are no like factories or anything constructed at the location.
Satellite imagery is not showing anything out there. But satellite imagery can be meddled with.
Okay. And I'm guessing they don't find anything about the purchaser, the buyers.
It appears that, interestingly, the buyer and the vendor, as far as your agents can tell, are one and the same.
Yeah. Okay. Would Silas know about the island that Hunter and Nero visited?
Not right off. I'm assuming. I mean, any of you can talk to the other ones, but without having spoken to each other, not yet.
All right. I'm just wondering if the island they visited is in that zone or not. But either way, Silas will, after getting all this information, he will arrange another foray out into the waters, and he's gonna go in the direction of that area and investigate.
Just gonna go. All right.
Yeah.
I like it that Silas is an action guy. Silas is like, I'm gonna do this now. All right, bye.
Yeah. Same setup as last time. Like
still
two
bringing
boats.
Bringing people with you. Yeah, you're not doing it alone. That's dumb. All right. Silas is yes. Silas is a man of action, but he's not a stupid man of action. So one of the reasons Silas is still alive.
Yep.
But having said that, all of you were back at the Big Island at some point. So if you want to flash back to a scene or find some other method of having let Silas and or Talus know about that island, feel free. I'm not going to make you, be together. If you see what I mean. There is no reason, because all of you are, all of you work together. So if you wish to have told each other any of the things you have learned, we don't even necessarily have to role play that out. We can just say, yes, I made sure he knows. Oh, and also keep in mind, radio communications are a thing. And you guys have very good encryption on your radios. So there is practically no place on the planet that you cannot communicate with each other, either by radio or some sort of text message or, or something like that.
Yeah, I do say at some point Silas will inform everyone else, maybe like a day or two after he informs Talus first, because he has a suspicion that there is not a third party at work here. So he would want to inform all of the necessary party involved about this suspicion. And so he'll bring up all of the other stuff and collate data with everyone else.
Good call.
feel like Hunter's going to kind of give Nero the job of updating people.
Yeah, I kind of figured that that's
sort of
yeah.
assume.
I assume I'm the
and-
one who usually whenever we do anything like this, I'm usually the one who needs to be the one to talk to.
I get for a few different
the
reasons.
other family
I think that makes
reps.
sense.
Yeah,
I got you.
Yeah. And if that's starting to get difficult from a role-playing perspective, y'all let me know. It's not that I don't want to talk to folks. It's that if Nero's going to do it, why would I put my foot forward?
Well, 100%. And also, we will have many opportunities for you to be in the same place as anyone else later if you want. So no problem there.
Yeah.
And so let's get around to Talus, because what have you been up to while everyone else was cavorting about on islands?
I think you know what? I think before Silas leaves, I want to have them just dive into this information, see what they can figure out. Because how important this thing may be, who did it, is going to basically boil down to what's the information.
Yeah.
What's the nature of it?
Gotcha. So are you looking into it personally?
Yes.
Okay. That's going to be a much different process because you're a mentat. Yeah. Now, first off, the biggest problem with this is, like I said before, it's just a bunch of undifferentiated transmissions.
Mhm.
Most of it has not even been like, given the nature of this world and of this setting in general, most of it's encrypted for obvious reasons.
Yes.
And even the stuff that hasn't been encrypted, it's like, it's not digital, because that's not really a thing. What it is like I said, it's mostly either radio transmissions or microwaves or things along those lines, which means that what it's been stored on, you end up having to spend some time transferring it onto a thing that then you can read it from.
Mhm.
So first off, that just takes a while. Nothing you can't handle, nothing you don't have the equipment for. It's just time consuming. But once that happens, and you can automate a fair amount of that, which is the good news. So once that happens, are you looking for anything in particular, or just trying to get a big picture?
Just trying to get the context, kind of what.
Okay. So largely what you end up seeing or hearing, more to the point, is it takes a while, but you're starting to draw a map of points A and points B that these things were being sent to and heard from.
Mhm.
Because again, like, sometimes you get conversations going in both directions, and that's easier to work with. Sometimes you just get single things, and you're not able to coordinate this with anything geographically yet. That may happen later, but right now you've just got, like, this group of things obviously came from the same source, and this group of things went to the same source. So you're starting to put it kind of a communications map together.
Yes.
So are you more interested in the ones that have a whole lot of traffic, or the ones that just have a little bit?
Little bit.
Okay. So then what you end up with is basically a group of a few dozen things that you are able to start getting your equipment to translate into something you can work with. But once again, I get the sense that you're maybe not looking for content so much as patterns.
Mhm.
Am I right? Okay.
Yes.
Which, once again, you are supremely good at. And I think, tell you what, let's do a roll for this,
All right.
because you're going to get information. The question is, how good is that information?
Mhm.
Oh, hey, while I'm looking at it, sorry, I'm opening all the wrong things. Here we go. Did we? We've lost the chat. Where did we leave the think we had 4 momentum when we left, didn't we?
It was for.
I know we had 4 at some point.
Yeah,
because that was at we were in we got the last 2 while we were on the.
Yeah, so we never left 4. Okay,
the
good.
base.
So FYI, we have 4 momentum out of a maximum of 6, and I believe we were at 1 threat.
Mhm.
Let's get over here. What do we think that's going to be? Let's look at. I mean, that feels like either discipline or understand, both of which I think are the same number for you, aren't they?
Mhm.
So let's call that understand. What do you think? What drive do you think applies to that?
I think truth.
Actually, yeah, that makes a lot of sense because you really are trying to pick this apart. Okay. So wow, you got a whole bunch of your target's pretty good there.
Mhm.
What is it, 15?
15, yes.
Okay.
Does my Mentat discipline talent come into play here?
Which one is it? Intense study?
No, for what the hell?
Oh no, the actual Mentat discipline.
Yeah, Mentat discipline.
The one that's just called Mentat. It totally does. Yeah. Sorry about that.
Okay. Yeah,
Yes, it absolutely does in this case. This is literally what Mentats are built for. So yeah, you could do that.
Okay. So one each maybe consider to roll the 1. Okay.
All right. So if nothing else, you know you're going to get something awesome out of it because of the 1. So
I would also like to use momentum for this. So that's
sure.
an extra dice, right? That's an extra dice,
you get 1 extra die for that. So what is that?
Okay,
3
so
dice then?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So okay. All right. Let's see which one. Nope, not that one. Understand. Wait, is it? That's. Oh, that is very odd. Okay, understand. Okay. Submit.
And I think
Guys.
attention to detail obviously applies here too. So
Yep. So what is? I forget what the focus. Oh yeah, that's right. Never mind. I know.
yeah, so it automatically counts as a critical.
If
Any success
if I roll
counts
underneath,
as a
if I
critical.
roll underneath, yeah. Okay. Using focus. There we go. Okay, so
Let's see. So that's
4? That's total 4 successes.
It is because the other one counts as a 1, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whoa, nice. Okay, so not only that, it's going to be more than a critical, really, because you essentially rolled a 2 and a 1.
Mm-hmm.
So that's phenomenal, is what that is. It's like one of those things like that happens to me anyway. If I'm working on like a word puzzle or something like that, and then I walk away from it for a while, and then I come back and I immediately see the answer, that's what just happened.
Yeah.
That's what happened to Talus. You're like, oh, why didn't I see this before?
You need some time to let the information just kind of like kind of affix itself.
So the patterns are particularly obvious. The ones that are not communicating, the ones with a smaller number of communications and a smaller number of like the points that don't have as many communications amongst themselves.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing you find out is that you've got a group of them here that definitely have patterns, and the patterns are timed, meaning someone is checking in.
Mm-hmm.
Someone is communicating something that the content of the communication is not important. The fact that it's being communicated at a certain time is. So that's what you've got there. I mean, this is just typical spy stuff. You figured that, you're like, oh, that's what we do. I see what's going on.
It's the fact that there is a return at a specific time. Yeah.
Exactly.
There is a signal. Okay.
So you've got a group of them, and you are convinced, by the way, that that group is to and from the same people. It's someone regularly reporting. Chances are this is just someone reporting that everything is fine. Meaning, like, if you don't hear from me, then mobilize whatever.
This, I mean, in this setting, it actually makes things easier because it's like I would think, maybe it's a computer. It's like that can't be that you can't have that here. So it's someone's got to do it. Someone's
actually got to do it. Yeah, you're right. So you've got that, and then you've also got a group of things that are a little harder to figure out, but you finally kind of nailed it down. What those are is definitely someone is sending orders through a really circuitous route. They do not want anyone to find out. They want it to be difficult to trace where they came from. But the way that you're looking at it, the fact that you're not focusing on the content and you're actually focusing on the patterns means that you can see the things they don't want you to see because you're not being distracted by what it's saying. You're actually just seeing that they're bouncing around. And given time, you're going to be able to nail some actual geographical locations to this, and you're going to be able to actually start figuring out where they came from. And once you've got the where, the who is going to follow.
Yes. In that case, I would like to, you know what? Since Silas is going to be the man on the ground for that sort of thing, I will let him in on that information of the times.
Very cool. Okay.
And I would just like some counsel, like considering what happened to the unfortunate thing that happened to the other two mentats investigating probably the same thing. Is this something that you want to check on yourself, send some teams, or possibly surveil and tip off interested parties so they can check?
I already have eyes on that island. Currently, I'm trying to track down whoever owns the equipment there, and I have a lead that leads us to, I point out the location, the black zone area.
Yeah, it's like on the map, it's literally just this area of ocean that on the official map, it's just an area with some ocean in it.
Yeah,
which is most of the planet, to be fair.
Just have cute little drawings of whale tails, and it says "Here there be dragons."
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yes.
I would just say, this is where my people trace the equipment and the buyers to somewhere in this region. I intend to take a team out there to investigate myself.
That is good. Keep me immediately. If there's anything that's found, if the area is secure, you let me know.
Of course. And do you know any information about this area?
Do I?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Nothing. Yeah, you haven't had a reason to investigate that.
It's one of those non-interesting spaces that you can hide things in. So who knows what you'll find? Maybe there are definitely ways of having satellite, or multiple ways of having things shielded, hidden. So be careful out there. If you need any more resources or equipment, feel free to ask. This is a high priority, and I can probably convince the consort this is a dire need for this sort of thing.
Of course. I'll keep you posted.
And by the way, who else have you told this to? Who knows?
Just you so far. And of course, my people.
Yes. Well, for right now, I'd like to keep it that way, considering the secrecy, of these things.
Understood.
This might be nothing. We might be chasing some outdated reporting station, or it could be something very, very valuable. also dangerous. So good luck. Consider this the highest priority of anything that you're doing right now. So
I intend to leave within the next few hours, depending on what time of the day this conversation happens. Either
Right,
a
yeah.
few hours or dawn tomorrow. you know?
Yeah.
and if it's successful, and if we find anything notable, you do know how the consort rewards exemplary service.
I don't
But
do
if
this
it's-
for the reward.
Yes, well, and if it's not, if it's nothing, there's certain things I can do to shield. So consider everything you do my protection as well. So if that makes you feel better,
I appreciate it.
you are taking a risk for the house,
Just another day on the job.
and I will let you know if there's anything else that I can glean from this that might be useful in your investigation.
All right. Keep me posted.
Likewise.
Preparation and 2 boats.
Yes. Okay, so I'll get back to you when you get to something interesting out of the vast ocean. Yeah.
Now that I know the area too, I would like to dispatch some of my people to just see if there's anyone, including the people our Mentat friends work for, to
Okay.
if there's any activity going towards the areas that we know have some importance.
What sort of people? By which I mean, what are their specialties? Are they mentats, or do they do something else? Yeah. So, what are their specialties? What kind of because you've got a fairly diverse staff. What are you sending out there?
I think she much like herself, people that small like staff workers, that sort of thing.
Gotcha. And I will tell you one more thing, because this is the thing that your critical plus gets you, is
Oh no.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
No.
I was wondering if it was me frozen or had
No.
Yeah.
No.
A second, I thought my internet crashed
The
again.
information.
Yeah.
No. No, that luckily is not the voice of the Banshee that sometimes invades the call
Oh,
whenever we
no.
have Brian on. But hopefully she hasn't gotten him.
The digital paralysis has gotten him.
Yeah.
I wonder if she's okay. Like she's just,
It's either
Yeah.
a Banshee or we've also
Oh wait, yeah.
speculated it could be a bar guest. We're not entirely
Oh,
sure.
bar guests.
That's a possibility as
Bar
well.
guests.
whoa, hello.
Yep, can hear you.
Aha.
Did the ghosts get you?
Okay.
Oh no,
It was my turn.
Ah.
Sorry about that. What was the last thing that I heard?
I think the information, like, this is the information you got on the crit.
Oh,
was-
perfect. Yeah, and then it goes dead. That was I couldn't have planned that better.
Oh no, this is
Okay, so let's
They
try
don't
this
want you to
again.
know.
We need
Yeah.
you need to know this dire information.
And whatever you do,
Don't.
make sure you don't. Yeah, okay. Sorry about that. I'm back now. Let's try that again. Here is what the critical plus gets you. What this gets you is you find a piece of information. There's a string of communications that's been bothering you the whole time, and you finally figured out why it's familiar. It is an old, much long canceled and deprecated code that your house doesn't use anymore. But you, having studied the history of the house, you know what things used to be like, and this is one of those. But I mean, it predates the arrival of the current consort.
So it's an old code from this house.
Yeah, from your house.
Ooh,
It's unmistakable. You're sure that's what it is.
that's concerning. Definitely curious. Would feel better if it was someone else that wasn't from our house or using our house codexes. Interesting. I'll keep that.
Yeah, so one more bit of information. So yeah, Silas, like I said, I'll get back to you. Let me get over to Hunter and Nero. Are the two of you still together, or have you split off to do your own things?
I think was there anything else you wanted to do together, or do we?
I am gonna take, like, I sort of am cagey, like not cagey, but just sort of reserved on the way back. And I don't know if you have any conversation that you want to do, but Hunter's only going to talk if approached.
Yeah, I mean, Nero talks on the way back because, of course, he does. But
does he say anything?
No.
Yeah. No, nothing. No,
and I hear about the algae, right? Is what you found in the thing.
Yeah. No, I tell you everything that I found.
Algae.
Yeah, basically the stuff for research.
I am going to try to scurry away as not obviously as possible to find, if I have like a colleague who specializes in tech,
you do.
I know, like who would be most likely to be able to help me identify where the tech that I have came from.
Yeah. And actually, you're going to get back before I do because I have to drop you off and take the boat back. So
that's a good point. So so while Nero's taking the boat back, you've got a few options here. The most, however, the person that knows this stuff the best and is not part of the house.
Oh yeah, and I wanted a shady person.
Yeah. Is it's a local fence.
Perfect.
Yeah, so we need a name for this fence. What should it be? Let's see.
Dandelion.
No, it's not an air. It's not an air. Let's see. If anyone comes up with one before I do, shout it out. I'm looking. Let me see what we got. Here we go. This is just a guy. Go ahead. What?
Beal, B-E-A-L.
Ooh, I like that one. We'll stick with that. That was better than the one I was going to say. Okay, so yeah, you find Beal, and you know Beal for a couple of reasons. First off, mostly just because of your job, and you know Beal's history. You didn't know him when you were here the first time. Obviously, you weren't consorting with that sort of person,
right?
But you know enough about this world from both of your lives to know what Beal's deal is, and he is not actually affiliated with the crime syndicate that we've been mentioning before. However, he does do a lot of work for them. He's not officially a member. Actually, similar in a lot of ways to your status. You don't get to do what you're doing without dealing with with the local crime boss. And he's sort of in the same kind of position you are.
Gotcha.
So yeah, you go through the proper channels, get in to see him. And again, this is someone that you know. Again, you've dealt with him personally because you've been back here smuggling things and in some cases either selling things to him or just getting a line on other stuff to do.
We've probably gotten drinks at some point too.
Oh, obviously, yeah. In fact, that may be what you're doing now.
Yeah, I make sure to bring a couple of good bottles of something.
I like that Hunter does not show up empty-handed. That is excellent. Hunter never does.
The wheels with booze.
I love that.
So yeah, I bring a couple of thingies, and I walk in and I pull the tech right out and I put it on the counter and I say, "Any idea where this comes from?"
He looks at it. That's a custom job. But it's got some. Hang on. And he gets like no kidding, like just basically a jeweler's loop and a bright light, and he looks at it, and his hand hovers towards some tools, and then you see him think better of it and just observe for now. Doesn't look like it's trapped. It's not sending out any signals right now, which is good.
I pretty well disarmed it. I was careful.
Nice work.
I want to trace this back. Whose is it?
Ah. All right. It was built here, but it's been modified. And I don't know who did the modifications. I don't recognize that. But whoever did it they knew what they were doing.
Do you know who might employ such a modification on a regular basis? Is there anything characteristic of a house, a group that this reminds you of?
I mean, sort of. But it's
I know.
I know. It's kind of old, but I feel like it's the kind of things that House Versai used to do, but not for years.
How many years? Ballpark.
The number he gives you coincides roughly with the disappearance of the former heir.
Right. And out of character, how long ago did we think that the lab had been used?
It was a number of months.
Okay.
Less than a year, like maybe I think we landed on like 3 or 4 months.
Okay.
No, I apologize. It was weeks. It was 3 weeks. I remember now.
Okay.
So relatively recently, but not yesterday.
Questionable whether anyone was still actively watching it then. Perfect. This gives me all the answers I need.
Yeah, except maybe one. The manufacturer, this is the kind of thing that, every place has their ghost stories and their boogeymen. This is like what I'm looking at. It's like someone's giving you evidence that those things exist.
I'm not following here, bud.
Yeah, you hear rumors about people moving invisibly around the world, and every now and then you see something you can't explain. So the sailors, they say, "Oh, it's the ghosts, or it's the monsters, or it's the boogeymen." Except after a while, some of those things tend to have some similarities with each other, implying that what I'm saying is, I've heard stories, but this is the first time I've seen something that's going to make me sound like a lunatic if I tell somebody else I saw it.
You know, a little bit. But I appreciate you telling me the story anyway. I promise I still respect you. What is it about this text specifically that seems to link it to these stories that you've heard?
It's made entirely out of stuff you can get from this planet.
Mm.
Even the modifications use that.
If I were to go back to where I found this, any idea if I could figure out where it was transmitting to?
If you had the right equipment, yeah. Which I just happen to have for sale.
You just happen to have the right equipment. Let's see if we can make a deal here.
Oh, yeah. And the price he gives you is high, but not something you can't afford.
Oh, I buy that shit. It's good. I'll negotiate down as much as I can, but yeah, no, 100% I want that equipment.
Okay, you've got it.
So at some point then I will go back to Nero.
Probably about the time you're back from dropping off the boat.
Oh, okay.
Before this happens, though, I need to ask: did you do anything other than just drop off the boat and come back?
So there are things I'm trying to figure out if it's if this is a thing that can be taken care of while the other thing is happening. But let me see.
Actually, I don't think I would go to Nero.
Okay.
Keep doing
Then.
what you're doing, but actually Nero is not who I would go to.
Fair enough. Okay.
That's fine. Yeah. Nero is not trustworthy in these matters. Actually, well,
Nero is trustworthy, yes.
He is if it comes to the security of the house.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But I mean, a lot of the times he plays.
Which is why I don't want Nero, because of the
that's kind of the
in this
thing.
particular instance.
Well,
yeah. I got it.
Fair. However, there'll be some thing. There's some things I'm going to say a little bit during this that we'll see. We'll see which way things start leaning. But because there's a matter we need to figure out. But this is before that. I was trying to figure out. This is in the laundry list of stuff that I was sending you, where I was trying to figure out who one of the buyers might be for the submarine. So I'm trying to see if I can just looking for that thing that I was doing to try to figure that out. Because let me just find there's a buyers. Because there's a guild associated. Use my guild associated staff connections. Keep an eye out for the incoming. It's possible to be their client. Okay. As well as any signs of movement on the part of any of the folks from the Ino shipyards. Okay. So, yeah, no, I wouldn't have gotten this data yet. So, I mean, I would have dropped it off and done the amount of schmoozing necessary for this kind of interaction after returning from a joyride. Which is like, this is wonderful. I may get one of these, that type of things. If it was good, talk about whatever,
the ostensible purpose of your voyage. Got
yes,
it. Okay.
Exactly. And just sort of, talk about if it needs. Obviously, before getting in, I would have done whatever I need to delete route information or whatever that might be on it before I drop it off. I cleanse the thing before I drop it off.
Yeah.
But I just basically, if I noticed any handling issues or things like that, I would
performed remarkably well. I'll tell you that. Yeah, so it's legitimately an impressive craft.
Awesome. Okay. So I mean, I'd base if I noticed anything that if I had any recommendations that might be helpful to them with their, the purpose of the making of the craft, I would report back. Basically, I'll tell them truthfully about anything that happened with the vehicle itself.
Yes.
As to how and was driving it, that kind of deal, and
Gotcha.
just kind of do that. But I don't think there's as much for me to do at the shipyards directly yet, aside from the continued schmoozing and just getting a feel for just taking the general temperature of like if anybody seems to be behaving off, that kind of thing. But aside from that, if no alarms go off like that for me as I'm interacting with them, then I'm just going to turn around and head back.
Okay, not a problem. Well, in that case,
because the other stuff involves me getting in touch with my guild people.
Okay.
And I hopefully have set them on doing this already, but I don't need this report while I'm at the shipyard.
You mentioned that before, so is your next thing to do to talk to the guild people to get that information? Probably. Okay, on it.
I am going to need to make a report to either Talus or to the consort about some of this information that we have learned.
Okay,
because this could be a serious threat.
It actually kind of makes sense. You may want to do that first.
Yeah, duty.
All right.
I actually probably am going to talk to, probably more talking to Talus because this is it's Talus's job to filter this information.
Sure enough.
So that'll probably happen first.
Okay. All right. Well, in that case, we'll swing back around to that conversation momentarily. I just want to check in with everyone else. Actually, Silas, I'm going to get back to you real soon, but I just want to make sure I know what Hunter is doing. So you said you weren't talking to Nero. What are you gonna do?
To my friend in the Salt Guild.
Oh,
and saying,
gotcha.
Hey, want to see something really interesting?
Okay, I'll come back to you on that one then. Got it. Just wanted to make sure I knew what the plan was. Okay. So Silas, you and your crew, you're on your boats. You're going out. You've got your compass. You're comparing it to the map. For the most part, what you're seeing matches what's on the map, which is a whole lot of water. Not terribly interesting. But then you pass by these enormous machines. You can tell that they are set up like some of the floating islands that the Salt Guild has built. They literally just move around as they need to. And you've read about these, but you haven't actually encountered them yet because they tend to be way out in the uninhabited parts. They are part of an old actually a quite old system that is still being maintained to attempt to control the weather. It can't stop a storm, but it can break up a storm before it gets to land, so it's not quite as devastating. And that's what these do. They are they're referred to as weather stations. And they are enormous. They are the size of like just city blocks just floating around.
And these are not in the forbidden zone.
Not
They're
yet.
just on the way.
You're getting close, but they are not yet. They are not in the forbidden zone. And there's no reason these would show up on the map because they move around. They're just these things.
All right.
Now, I will say, you have spotted them in some of the satellite images that you've seen. So you kind of knew to expect that they would be around. But they, so yeah, but piloting some rather small boats alongside these things is a whole other matter because, like I said, they are huge. They're not just wide, they're really tall. So, but just letting you know, you go past those. You also spot a few of the farther flung desalination plants, some of the smaller ones. These are also the floating ones that are out there. but then you get into the area that is effectively the forbidden zone, and you're so you're moving into like farther into the uninhabited areas.
I keep an eye out for those same mines at the other island.
Yeah, you know what to look for as far as that goes, at least. And you do, in fact, avoid a cluster of them because you spotted them from a distance. And then you discover that you find a few more here and there, not in any kind of pattern, just kind of spread out.
Not like surrounding any land masses.
Nope, just kind of as far as you can tell, randomly assorted throughout the ocean, as if to just catch anyone that ventures too far out, like maybe you. But like you said, so far you've been able to spot them from a distance.
All right. Yeah, I'll continue weaving, seeing is there any like islands that those equipment could be manufactured, or where anyone could have like a hideout or something like that.
Yep, you get farther and farther out. You continue not to see any islands. You left in the morning, so you got plenty of sunlight. Also, you've got you've got radar. You've got we would have radar and sonar for that matter, because I assume you're looking under the water as well.
Yeah.
So you're casting about, and also you've got people with like binoculars and telescopes and all kinds of things, just trying to make sure that that you spot anything out there. And you continue not to find any islands. But then one of your people with the binoculars says, "Vessel on the horizon, sir."
Oh, I look. What do I see?
You see a boat about twice the size of the one you're on.
Okay.
And
moving?
Go ahead. Moving towards you, actually.
Oh. Everyone at the ready. I sort of resource my sword in case.
Yeah. Everyone's preparing weapons and whatever else.
I'll say head count like on the boat. Like the binoculars.
Yeah, so once they get close enough, you can see there are you spot about a dozen people on the boat.
Ooh. Okay, do I recognize them? Do they have any emblems or heraldry?
Absolutely none. What they do have looks like particularly even by this far future setting, they look like particularly advanced wetsuits. Meaning they also look like they are padded
divers.
Definitely set for diving. The two, like a couple of them in front, have some sort of at first it looks like necklaces, like really thick necklaces, but then you realize it's a breathing apparatus that they can like just pull up like to cover their mouth and nose if they need to leave the boat and go into the water. The suits they're wearing look from here they look like, at first they just look like they're like extra padded, but then you realize maybe it's more like armor.
Oh, things escalated real quick here.
You don't spot the telltale shimmering of any shields or anything like that. As far as weapons, though, those are obvious. They're just carrying spear guns, like the kind of thing you would, shoot at a particularly large fish.
Okay. So now my second question is, has our planet been having trouble with, say, bandits or corsairs?
Off and on, yes. There are definite reports of pirates. You've read the security reports from the house that was here before. And for that matter, from the Salt Guild, and the Salt Guild is not to be messed with. They've got some really tough people in the Salt Guild. You've met them, and there are places on the planet that they just don't go anymore because it's not worth the cost of lives. After a while, they were just like, fine, You can have it. We're not going to go there. So you're kind of you've got reports of pirates and like you said, pirates and brigands, that kind of thing.
Do these people look like the reports?
The reports tend to be pretty scant on details because they don't usually have a whole lot of survivors. But there are elements of what you're seeing here that that match that. Yes.
All right. Okay. So as they get closer, what's their response? Are they like hostile? Currently?
Not exactly. I mean, they don't seem to be training any weapons on you. They're on a collision course, but other than that, they don't seem to be training any weapons on you.
Okay. I mean, as they get close, I'll just like signal for my people to slow down.
Okay.
Do they slow down, or are they gonna?
No. Eventually, yeah. They slow down at a distance that that you could speak to each other.
All right. I'll just go. Who goes there?
Actually, the guy in front, now that you've got a better look at him, he's wearing like the wetsuit thing, and he's got the spear gun. He also has a beard. It's mostly black, but has a fair amount of gray in it as well. And it is it's long, but it's tied into a short braid. And he says, "That's my question."
I am here on business of House Versai.
What the hell's a House Versai?
The ruler of this planet.
Agree to disagree.
Who are you?
Another group of landwalkers showing up on our planet asking us to identify ourselves. Fine. I'm called Resius, and you are?
I am Silas Chin.
What are you doing in my waters, Silas Chin?
Does this person look like he might me anytime soon?
Not right now. No, he honestly seems amused by the entire thing.
Okay.
There's a couple of guys behind him that are much less amused, but he seems to be leading the group right now.
Okay, I'll just go. I'm here on an investigation mission of sorts.
And you're working for this house?
Yes.
I can make this easy for you. Tell them you found nothing and turn around.
Ooh, okay. Okay, so you said they have 12 people.
Yeah.
How many of them have ranged weapons?
Technically, all of them.
Okay, so I will lose any outright.
Those spear guns can fire pretty far. Yeah.
Okay.
And you suspect they might not just be carrying spear guns. Those are just the obvious ones.
Okay. I will, as soon as I say that, I'll go. Unfortunately, I cannot return empty-handed.
Huh.
I have no quarrel with you. I merely wish to look around for a couple of hours.
That's the one thing we can't allow. What are you looking for? Silas Chin.
Okay, so the information I got, you said that my people found the buyer and the manufacturer, it's traced here.
Yeah.
Is it because those people came to this area, or how did that information
That's what it's
about?
starting to look like, yeah.
Okay, I'll go. Besides me, have there been any other people that have entered this area over the past few months?
A few.
Who are they? they could be people of interest to me.
I'm sure they are. But they're people of interest to me too, and I made some deals.
Perhaps we can help each other. If you can give me what I want, you will be welcome. How rich is House Versai?
Oh, quite rich, actually. You've got, like, money's not a problem.
Okay.
And more to the point, even if someone doesn't want money, you can buy things with the money and give those things to them. So,
okay.
Yeah.
In exchange for information, I can compensate you.
So you are proposing a pact.
A trade.
A trade? For this, So let me get this straight. You need information, and you are trying to find out what it is I need.
Yes.
We don't make deals with just anyone.
And how
We
do
only
I
make
get
deals
myself on
with
that list?
reasonable people. Are you a reasonable person, Stylist Jin?
I like to think I am. And as a sign of trust, I'll ask my people to lower their weapons.
Okay.
Oh. I cannot hear you.
Yeah.
Oh, I think
froze. It froze.
Is he
I
frozen?
think.
yeah, he
Yeah.
froze again.
Oh no!
Like that's like very still.
Yeah.
The universe freezes for a moment.
Oh no.
Oh wait, he's moving
back?
again, but
Wait.
There you go.
but I don't.
Are you muted? Can you hear it? Oh no, froze again.
Oh,
So
digital paralysis.
yeah. Well, I was gonna wait. No, coming
There
back.
we go. Why does this keep happening? Okay. He says, all right. Oh, so when your people lower their weapons, that gets some like murmurs from the people behind this guy. He says, all right, there's two ways this can go. We make a deal or we don't make a deal. Right? You're new here. We're not looking to make enemies just yet. Because if we blow up your boats, people are going to come looking for you, right?
There's a not so high chance of that happening.
Yeah. But you got past our minds.
Your
That means-
minds.
You're serious about what it is you do. You want this information enough to fight for it?
Ideally not, but I will if I have to.
I don't mean beat it out of us. That's not going to happen. What I mean is, we don't let outsiders into much of our area. But there are ways to get in to some of the periphery.
And how does one do that?
Traditionally, one proves oneself in combat.
So, a trial, so to speak.
Exactly. You've used the proper word.
So, what do I fight you or your champion?
You pick someone, I pick someone. It can be you.
And this is until draw first blood, yield death. Probably not death. I did not say death. I do not want to put that in his head. I'll just go first blood or yield.
First blood.
Okay. I accept your challenge.
And as soon as you say that, he just says, "Follow us," and the boat turns around and heads off in a direction.
And I'll signal for my people, and we continue.
Okay, so having said that, we will come back to that, but we will also need to come back to what Rose is up to. But we can do that after a break, I think, if everyone is up for that.
All right.
Okay, so short break, and we'll be back in a few minutes. Is that the deal? Over to you, Jim.
Seems good to me. All right, cool. Yes. We will. As you can see, Janie has made it. Hi.
Yay!
And
Yeah.
we will find out what is going on with Rose and all that in a little bit. We shall return shortly. See you soon.
Excellent.
have returned. And someone is joining a maritime fight club. I'm excited for that.
We will come back around to that, I promise. But before we do that, we need to check in with Rose because Rose has recently returned to us. Rose, as I recall, you were going to talk to House Procyon, which is the house that your house has a rivalry with, which means they are not like the other house. They're not out to kill you. They are just annoyed that you're stepping on their turf. And your plan was to ask them for help on this gala that's being thrown. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Now that's what you're asking them for. What is your actual goal here?
To get, I believe I'm trying to get more information from them.
Okay. So you're trying to find out more about, are you trying to find out like what they're up to, or just things that they might want to hide from other people, that kind of stuff?
Let me think. I got to think back to what my original task was that I was given.
Yeah, I think that the consort was basically just like, while they're here, see if he can dig up anything incriminating on them. I think was the main thing. Okay. All right. In that case, you are you communicate back and forth with House Procyon because they do have they don't have a permanent presence on this planet, but they have brought a contingent along because most of the houses have. Most of the houses are here for the big gala that celebrates the transfer of this planet to House Versai. It's one of those things that if you're not seen at something of this magnitude, you better have a good reason why. And House Procyon, as one of the more social, as probably as the most socially prominent house, really does want to be here, despite the fact that they are really annoyed by your house's entire existence. But they can't not show up. It looks worse if they don't show up. So that means that they have, for a while now, for several weeks now, they're basically just renting a villa that used to belong to the previous house that ruled the place. And they have set up shop as their own kind of thing. So some of the heir to House Procyon is in fact here. He is right now he is their most highly ranked representative. There were rumors that the actual ruler of the house may come, but it's not like a slap in the face of House Versai if they don't. Like sending the heir here meets their social obligations to the letter and no more. Because it's a big deal. However, some of this person's siblings and cousins are also here. And in your communications with House Procyon, you have been set up with a Lord Reginald Procyon. And Lord Reginald is the fifth son of the ruler, which means he is, in fact, the brother of the heir. But he is pretty far down on the totem pole. He's never going to inherit. But you've eventually, they agreed to you getting a meeting with Lord Reginald.
Okay.
And it'll be at it'll actually be at their place. Actually that's not true. No, Lord Reginald is actually staying in a different place. Lord Reginald is staying in his own apartments that are still on the big island, but he's kind of got his own place and he's doing his own thing.
Okay. Do I know if he talks to his family a lot, or if it's like a good or bad relationship?
This is information you have received because you were asking for kind of some groundwork to begin with. you get the sense that he screwed something up not too long ago, and he's having to climb his way back into the family's good graces.
Okay. And has he done like parties for them before, or?
He has. He's actually one of the people they send to plan these things. So he has actual experience doing this. They didn't set you up with just some guy, but he's not particularly highly ranked. He is a direct descendant of the ruler, but he's not the heir. But yeah, I mean, within the house, this is like one of his main jobs is going to places and helping people plan their parties.
Okay, so I would approach whatever building he's in, like kind of like I've been out partying.
I like that.
And like I wrote like a fake list out of things to do that's all crumpled up.
Nice.
And I got like a half-filled bottle of something. Like I meant to bring it, and I got distracted along the way.
Yeah. That's even funnier. Okay, good. Yeah, you're. This is peak Rose. I like this. All right. So yeah, you show up at the appointed time. His one of his servants shows you into his drawing room. And right now, or are you bringing anyone with you, or is it just you?
I usually make bodyguards along, but he sounds like he's busy.
At this point, yeah, he is.
Is Talus done with Alexis for now?
Oh,
you want Alexis?
That's not bad. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, she could play lady in waiting. Yeah, she's got that. Okay. All right, so yeah, what you've got is basically Wednesday Addams with you, and with better social skills. But she'll follow along as you're, because actually it doesn't look quite right if you don't have like someone with you, right? Like some sort of attendant. So she's playing the role, but you know her well enough to know that like if Silas can't be here, she's a good plan B.
Okay.
In fact, I suspect Silas would be okay with that in general. Like, say if Silas literally can't be somewhere, I know that Silas is never okay with not being there. But but if he cannot be, I think Silas knows Alexis well enough to know that this is almost as good. So yeah, she's with you. She's doing all the things that kind of an attendant does. She's playing the role of like a kind of an assistant, someone that keeps track of your calendar and fetches coffee for you, that kind of thing. So yeah, the two of you are shown into the room with Sir Reginald. Sir Reginald, right now it's just Sir Reginald, and he has kind of a couple of particularly thick and wide books. They look like large photo albums on the table, like on a side table, but on the table between you. And so the room is quite nice. It's the furniture is in old style. Think like if you were coming to see someone today and they had like a lot of like Louis XIV kind of furniture around. So it's old, but it's also obviously very expensive and very nice. So it's fancy in that manner. Fancy from like about 80 years ago. So he's got so it's a lot of stuff like that. There are several chairs seated around kind of a coffee table, and he's already got like a coffee service and like tea and some general snacks and things like that. It looks like high tea that he's already had set up for you. And he says, he speaks first. He says, "Welcome to my home, temporary though it is, I was surprised, but pleasantly so, to get your request.
Thanks, Reg. It's just gonna set a bottle on the table. So I'm on my well, basically I have to do this thing and I can't mess it up this time. And I bought you a drink, but I had a couple of them. And you know how to do this stuff. I don't know how. Can you help me, please?
Well, you've come to the right place. And I do hope that us meeting like this, working together, as it were, can be a bridge between our houses, because we would be stronger together, of course, wouldn't we? It's what I keep saying. But no, my brother is reluctant to see my point of view. So I'm hoping that if we can pull this off, as they say, we can take a step towards mending the fences that have been, broken as they are. So
yeah, I break fences all the time. I get in so much trouble about that.
Oh. What's interesting is his eyes widened at that a little, but not because he's surprised by what you said, but that maybe he kind of sympathizes. He says, yes, quite. First question, then. And then a couple of servants come in and start pouring tea and handing out plates of things. He says, What is your goal here? What do you hope to accomplish with this gathering?
Oh yeah, it's supposed to be a Alexis, what was this thing about again? Drinking?
She has her tea and she says, well, milady, it's a matter of showing and then with this she speaks to Reginald. He says, what we're hoping to do is we need to show this world that, well, who we are as a house and as a family. And he says, yes. So, who would you say you are?
Artists and writers and musicians.
So, first thing I should say is providing your own entertainment and your own decorations, as it were. Not that the art is merely decorative, but you get my meaning. Yes, we need to arrange things so that...
Just call the students up to have them come and do the decoration at the last second?
No. We need the most impressive things.
Okay, so the most impressive students, okay.
Yes. In order to wow them, as they say. I believe that is what we need to do. And if I may be so bold, I think that some sort of theme would help focus our attentions, you see. He accepts the tea from the servant, takes a sip.
Okay, a theme. She's just gonna pull a pen out of her hair or something and start scribbling wrinkled paper.
And with that, Alexis says, actually, had you and Alexis worked anything out beforehand, or does she just kind of come in with you?
I think I would have told Alexis plan to be very Rose-like.
Yeah. And she gets that, and she says, "Are you just trying to get him to say something, or do you want to snoop around the house?"
I would like to snoop if I can.
Oh.
I would have told her that, definitely.
Well, they're going to have something to drink, which means at some point you have to go to the bathroom, right?
Right.
Ah, good. So the conversation goes on like this. And he does seem to be like legitimately trying to work this out. And Alexis even has a few things to interject, etc. And then she continues with the sipping. Or actually, he continues with the sipping. You suspect Alexis might not actually be drinking her tea. Despite the fact that somehow the level in the cup is getting lower. But now the thing that this is essentially an apartment that he's renting here, but it does have multiple rooms. So if you did want to try to snoop around, you could. And I will point out that is literally a thing you're good at. So. So yeah, after a little while, you can like make your excuses if you want to do that.
And I'll make my excuses and snoop around.
And Alexis says, did you work it out with Alexis? Should she stay here or should she go with you?
I want her to stay there.
Got it. That makes more sense. She says, I'll continue our conversation then, ma'am. And you hear her doing the same thing, just working out details. The colors should be this, etc. So yeah, now you're heading towards the bathroom, but there are other rooms here. Let's see. Do we want to roll for this? Yeah. Let's go ahead and make a roll. So I think what we're going to look at here. It's actually going to be really similar to the roll you made to break into that ship. Maybe identical. Let's see. What have you got here? This feels like a discipline roll.
Okay.
And like your focus is basically doing sneaky thief stuff. So I think you're good on that one.
All right.
We need to figure out what drive it is, though.
True.
Actually, yeah, because you're literally trying to find stuff out, aren't you? That makes sense. Okay. So, yeah, so we're back at a target of 15. You're only going to need one success for this, though, because basically you're just trying not to make it obvious that you're sneaking around. He has not... The security here is not particularly tight. It's not... he's not just leaving stuff out in the open, but he's not securing things the way that someone from your house would secure things. Let's put it that way. So you need a single success. Your target is 15. So right now, momentum is still 4. You can use a momentum to get an extra die. You can use 3 momentum to get 2 extra dice. And then, like I said, you need a single success, though. So right now, you're in the critical realm. So any success you get counts as 2 successes. And so if you get extra successes, you either get to add cool stuff to it or dump those back into the momentum pool.
Okay.
So anything you roll that's 15 or under will be a success, which is... Your chances are pretty good. Although I've said that, I remember last time that didn't work out great for you. But, but we'll see.
Okay, what do I press to roll again?
Bottom. The bottom.
Yeah, like the word discipline.
Okay.
And then probably the word truth after that, or it'll ask you to fill it.
It'll ask you because I think that
Okay, so start with discipline, and then it'll ask you what drive you're using.
Okay.
And if it asks for a target number, your target number is 15.
It's asking how many dice?
2 right now, unless you want to use momentum and make it 3.
I'm going to make it 3 because I'm worried.
Okay.
And submit.
Yep.
Using focus.
Yes, you are.
Okay. What did I get? What did I get? I can't see it.
I don't either.
Oh,
Oh, I don't know.
okay.
It
Try
didn't
again.
show up on roll 20. Yeah, give it another shot.
Mhm.
And if that doesn't work, I can try the roll from here.
3. Yes. Did that work?
No, I still don't see it. Let me see if I can make it work. All right, so we start with discipline. We select truth. 3 dice. Using focus, yes. Okay, it worked for me for some reason.
Hey, that's a damn.
That's a hell of a roll.
Yeah,
Okay, so
that's 4, I think.
that's 4. Okay, so you only needed 1 success, which means right now you could use 2 of those successes. Actually, wait, momentum went down to 3. So you can put some of those successes back in the momentum pool, or you can use 1 or more of those successes to get something extra. But I will tell you, there's only enough extra stuff here to kind of only bother using 1 success. I'm not going to make you waste success.
Then I'll just use the 1 success.
Okay, so the first thing you find is actually that Reginald owes a lot of money to some people that it doesn't look good if someone like Reginald owes money to. People of not shady people, criminals, that kind of thing, like Hunter. And the other thing that you find out is actually that he has been collecting dirt on his brother, the heir. And you now have a copy of that.
Okay. Okay, I have to be right back. I'm sorry.
That's fine. This is great. It's a good stopping point. We'll come back to you. Because I think we need to find out what's going on with Silas now anyway.
Oh boy.
So Silas, you have been taken to basically just kind of a floating station. It's pretty big. It's not the size of one of those weather stations, but it's the size of, say, like 2 or 3 10-story apartment buildings kind of together. And you've been taken into an area off to one side of it that is open to the elements, that is just basically like, in another setting, this would look like a helipad, basically. It's just like a big flat space. But it also is, like I said, it's open to the elements. It's right here on the ocean, literally on the ocean. And you've got Recius is not the one that is preparing to fight you. He has selected someone younger.
Word. I don't say that.
No. That's not yet anyway. So yeah, he and momentum is 6 now, by the way.
Oh.
Because Rose only used 1 success.
Yeah. All right.
So by the way, you have full momentum. You can
severely mess up this person.
You can add up to 3 dice on this thing, is what you can do. So I will tell you though, given who Silas is and how he's been trained, you can tell that first off, your opponent is kind of watching you, kind of trying to size you up, but you're obviously doing the same thing.
Yeah. And have this talent as well in case there are like other threats around. Constantly watching.
Oh, that's good.
I'm like eagle eye,
Yeah,
like looking for a threat.
no fixing this fight. No, we don't
Yes.
want to
That is outstanding. Well, the first thing I'll tell you, since you're doing that, is you don't see anyone preparing to do anything, like not obviously to do anything to interfere with the fight. They
Okay.
clearly view this as sacred. Everyone is keeping their distance from the actual area the fight's going to be in. Although you are surrounded by these wetsuit wearing people, but you are not. You are convinced from your observation that no one is looking to get involved in this fight beyond you and this guy you're fighting, whose name you have not even been told.
All right. So I'm not gonna get like gladiator at the end. So
It doesn't look like it. Although clearly that talent's going to be running the whole time. So if anything looks like it's going to go down, you'll have a shot to know about it. Also, I will point out it's not just you here. Your people are here, and they are also watching, and kind of acting as like seconds in a duel might act. Looking for anyone doing anything screwy, basically.
okay.
So what are you doing to prepare for this? And you already have a sword, right? So
Yeah, I do.
Actually, Resius does ask to inspect your sword. He doesn't ask to take it from you. He just asked if you can hold it out so he can look at it.
All right. I draw my sword and I'll hold it up and let him see it.
Okay. He doesn't touch it, but he does kind of hold his hands above it. And he says, "We swear and aver that only metal will meet metal. Do you also swear and aver this?"
I swear.
He looks pleased by this. And he says, basically to the crowd, he says, "The challenger's weapon is acceptable." And he moves back into the crowd. And he says, "Take your time. Let us know when you are prepared."
All right. I might do like a simple, those like I forgot the word escaped me. It's like you're just like going through like typical motions and
like katas.
forms.
Yeah.
Yes, katas. Yes, that's
Got
what
it.
it's called.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, your opponent is doing his equivalent of that, but what he's doing doesn't look familiar to you. His fighting, whatever training he has, does not match any of the fighting styles you're familiar with.
Good, because I'll be watching him and memorizing.
You are, however, doing exactly
understand.
that. You're like, oh, okay, he kind of leans to the left when he does this, and yeah, you're getting some ideas.
All right.
And if you want it, one of your people is also kind of giving you similar advice, things that they've noticed.
All right, I will take everything in. And I'll spend like 10 minutes and then just go. I'm ready.
All right, cool. And then everyone gets really quiet. And Resius simply just says, "Begin." And your opponent begins moving like in an arc, watching you.
All right, I will match it. I will wait for him to make the first move.
Okay. And with that, then let's make a roll. Do you want to add your maximum dice to this, or do you want to
just?
Yeah, I mean we have 6 of it, right?
Yeah. Well, which means like six momentum will buy you 3 extra dice, basically.
Okay, I'm not gonna use all of them. I want to use 3 to get 2 extra.
If you used all of them, you just walk nonchalant, just like slash, like done.
What?
Unless you get a spectacularly bad roll. Okay, so basically you're going to roll 4 dice then.
Get him. Wait, so input value, how many dice do I put? 2 there, or do I put 4 there?
4. Yeah, put in the total number of dice.
Oh, okay.
Oh, this is,
All right.
come on.
Yeah, I'll wait for him to come after me, and I will exploit an opening, and then using focus. Yes or no? Is it?
All right, and I also need to roll for him since this is contested, so I'm going to do that as well.
Wait, this using focus, do I put yes or no?
Oh, put yes. You're definitely. This is long blades. That is one of your focuses.
Oh yes, I forgot what.
Yeah. So you're good on focus.
All right. Oh, I press submit and nothing's popping out for some reason.
The same thing that happened to Rose. Why is this not happening?
Oh,
But what's
okay,
weird is that it flashed up your you're constantly watching things, so
Yeah.
your sheet's not faulty.
Okay. Oh, it just showed up. It just took a while.
Wait,
I'm not seeing it on mine.
Okay.
I'm gonna reload. 2-bit.
Oh, it's not a bad idea.
Nope.
Oh, is it not showing up?
Mm-mm.
No, I'm not getting it.
God damn it.
Well, I mean, does it tell you how many successes you got? Oh, I
my
found it. Here we
God,
go.
there it is.
I just
Holy
got it.
sh-
Whoa!
Oh my God.
You legit
Oh
roll.
my
Okay,
God. Oh, jeez.
that's 2, 4. That's 6 successes.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
I'll put, since I know that this is like a trial, I will put on a show. I won't just like go up and just throw him to his ass. I'll draw it out for like 2 minutes.
Now hold on. I still need to make a roll for here, but I don't think he's going to beat 6 successes. But I'm required to make the roll. So let me just
Let's see
see.
how much you mess this button up.
Let's see. And then this is going to be.
Oh boy. Nice.
All right. Hang on though. All right. We do. I got to go through the same process you did. So one moment. Just got to get in there.
Wait, just so I understand the successes, is it like if I roll lower than my skill is counted as 2 successes?
If it's
Yeah,
below your
well,
focus.
Because you're using your foci, you get extra successes.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, he got 3,
I mean,
which is not bad.
good.
Yeah, he got 3. Unfortunately, what he didn't get was 6 for him. Fortunately for you, okay, so you get to explain how this battle goes. Please tell us the story of this battle. And I will say, with 3 successes, he's able to hold his own to an extent. He just is no match for you.
Okay. Okay.
So
yeah,
he's actually, the thing you're getting about this guy is he is very good at fighting. He's just not Silas.
aha. All right. Yeah. So I'll say, like I said, I'll wait for him to attack me first, like
Okay.
sort of like play the patience game to make him impatient. I won't do anything to like attack him. So
All
I'll
right.
get him to attack me first. I'll block for like the first few attacks just to get a feel for him. And
Okay.
then I'll go on the offensive and allow him to like, trade some blows. I'm not going to like instantly win the fight. Yeah, just put up a show to,
Okay.
because I'm trying to impress the Arisius. So
Sure. Okay.
yeah, to demonstrate as much ability and technique as possible with it. It's
Impressive.
almost like a showcase.
Yeah. All right. But yeah, you do. So when you actually go in for the first blood, where do you cut him?
I think it's gonna be one of those like I'll just sort of like redirect his attacks around to sort of like throw him to try to like force him into a almost like an instinct response to like just charge in for one attack after I just bat him around, and then I'll just like nick him on the shoulder.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. So not even anything terribly debilitating. You just got him. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
and,
not gonna maim this guy.
No. That's not what this is about.
Yeah.
And once he is cut, he holds up a hand and drops his sword. And what do you do upon his sword hitting the floor?
Okay. Do I know like the proper form for this kind of thing? If not, I'll just
Not with these specific people, no.
in that case, I will just like do the soldier salute and a bow.
Okay. That seems acceptable. No one seems like, no one's gasping or anything like that.
That is what did me in.
Yeah, oh no! The salute is like giving them the finger. So yeah, the Resius steps forward and says, "Not bad, Outlander. You
He was
may
a worthy opponent.
stay, and we will answer your questions."
All right, I'll incline my head at him and I'll sheath my sword.
And he says, "Show's over, everyone. Get back to work." And everyone does so. But the person that you fought, whose name you still have not learned, comes over to shake your hand before he leaves.
All right, yeah, I will shake his hand and goes, "You fought well."
I'd like a rematch when I'm ready.
I look forward to it. May I know your name?
Jono.
Jono. All right, wait, let me make a note of that somewhere. Okay. Well, Jono, I look forward to the rematch and see how you improve from this round.
And Resius says, "And for now, Jono, you have tanks to clean." "Yes, sir." And Resius says, "Let's retire to someplace more comfortable. I will entertain your queries."
All right, I will follow. I will signal for my people to just stay where they are.
Yeah, he says your people have actually, he says your people may move about. If they venture into an area we don't allow, we will inform them of it politely.
All right, I appreciate it.
And with that, yeah, he takes you back into honestly what just looks like a mess hall, and sits across just a metal table from you.
All right, I will sit across from him.
You were willing to spill blood for this, and more to the point, you were willing to shed blood for it. What do you want to know?
All right, and I'm going to just to put a very long story short. I believe that there is a conspiracy against the leader of my house, the one that I am sworn to protect, and I believe that some of the involved party is making use of regions within this zone. I want to track them down and hopefully put an end to whatever plot that they have.
You think they're playing around in our waters?
Yes.
I see. What's your evidence?
How much do I reveal? Like, he feels like he abides by a code of honor, so
yeah, true.
I can trust in that. A scoundrel's honor is still honor.
Yeah.
I will.
To the best of your knowledge, he hasn't lied to you yet.
Yes.
So.
Okay, I won't show him everything. I will show him the evidence that was given to me by my person, suggesting that whomever manufactured the equipment and bought it comes from this area. I'll show him that, just that.
He says, "This is one of ours.
Yours. So
my people made this."
Who did you sell it to?
We don't sell it, which means it was stolen. You have given us more information than I think I can possibly give you.
So it looks to me that we might have a mutual enemy in this. Perhaps we can help each other.
I think maybe we can. There are still certain restrictions, of course, but you've bought yourself a significant level of leniency in showing me this. Well, I mean, we would have taken it from your corpse anyway, I suppose. But the good news is we didn't have to. That's the messy way. So the question is, Who could have taken this, and why didn't we know about it?
Do you have a time frame of when this disappeared from your inventory?
We don't count beans. Though perhaps we should start.
If you will allow, perhaps you can bring me to where these equipment was stored. Perhaps I can spot some evidence that you might have missed.
Some of the places. The most central ones are still off limits. But yes, I think we can work together. And if you don't get what you need, I may be able to answer some questions.
Of course.
And do you have any other specific questions for him? Otherwise, it'll just be you guys are trading information, but
Okay.
And he's gonna have to look into some of this. He's gonna either look into it himself or get someone on his side to look into it.
Okay. I mean, he is telling the truth, right? I'm not being swindled.
No, you don't think so. And again,
Okay.
you're a good judge of of character. More to the point, not a good judge of character. You're a good judge of behavior. I mean, judging what someone's going to do in a fight is not that much different from judging what they're going to do in a conversation. And everything is telling you that when he saw what you showed him, he was genuinely surprised, or he is an actor of a level that he needs to be teaching at the academy.
All right. Okay. In that case, I will also tell him about that fake island that I found with the equipment. I mean, he mentioned, like, the moment I heard, like, he said that the mines were his, at first I thought they were the ones who planted it, but since it's stolen, I'll tell them that your stolen stuff is here.
Oh, they took our mines too. But they kept it away from our detection. Well, I know how they did it. We just need to find out who did it.
And I will help you in any way I can with this.
I will tell you, it's someone that knows this world well. They could not have done this without a great deal of information that is not available to just anyone.
But since they stole from you, they must have done business with you at some point. Do you have any enemies or allies that might not be as scrupulous as you?
This planet is full of those. Everyone is less scrupulous than we are.
It might be time to draft a list of potential suspects, and I will help you with anything.
I'm afraid I'll have to rank them by importance. It's going to be a long list.
Well,
we're not in the business of making friends, only allies. And right now, you personally, and I mean you personally, can be counted among them.
I'm honored.
This does not extend to your employers unless they prove themselves as well.
Understandable, but we don't have to worry about them for now. I will be who you'll be dealing with for this.
And the same applies to my side. In fact, what he gives you, he gives you a what's obviously a communications device, but you can tell it's the same sort of technology of the thing that you got, the thing that you told him about, the thing you found on the little island. He says, this will communicate directly with me. And anyone that's able to break into that communication is someone we've already lost to.
All right. I will keep it into a pouch on my waist.
And unless you have anything else specific, I mean, I think we could see kind of the way it's wrapping up. And later on, if you have anything that you wish you'd asked him, just tell me and I'll tell you what he said. We're not, like later on, you're like, oh, I definitely should have asked Resius about this thing. You know what I mean? So,
all right,
we can flash back if we have to.
While I'm at it, wait.
wait, Talus. The 4 mentats, 2 of them went to the island. The other 2 were they ever recorded as heading towards this zone area?
They were not.
Okay.
And
Okay.
Yeah, only those 2 were noted as having left the Big Island. In fact, the other 2
Okay.
never. The other 2 are still on the Big Island, as far as you know.
All right. In that case, there's nothing for him at the moment.
Okay, and like I said, this isn't necessarily the end of it, but we can see the direction it's going, so I think we're good, and we're getting pretty close to time. We should wrap up anyway. So, I think we need to check in with everyone just to make sure I know what everyone's up to. And if anyone has any quick scenes you need to play, we can do that. But let's just actually let me hit Rose first, because Rose, what do you do upon getting the information and you're sure you didn't get caught making copies of it?
I would go back to the whatever room I'm in, and I'm trying to make Reginald feel like we could be friends, even though I'm actually staying around to get more information.
Yep, mission accomplished on that. So basically, you've walked out of here with the information you wanted, and Reginald, first off, doesn't suspect that you've got it. And secondly, he and actually, I have a feeling it's not just he feels like he's working with you. I think he legitimately may be planning this party. So on top of that, I think this might be what's happening. You get back, and actually, Alexis seems to have worked out some of the finer details with him.
That's great. One less thing for me to do.
All right. So yeah, we'll come back if there's anything else. But the good news is you got what you wanted, and you can kind of wrap up the conversation however you want. So I think you're good.
Okay.
All right. Let's check in with Hunter next.
I'm gonna go to my friend in the salt.
That's right.
Guild.
That was your next move.
Right,
And what exactly are you talking to him about?
Oh, so do you want to track down the former consort of House Versai? I think I got a lead on her.
Really?
Really?
The answer, of course, is yes.
Awesome. Wonderful. I do, however, want to make it clear that you and I are tracking down the consort. Not me and the Salt Guild.
Nor the house that we once belonged to, yes?
Absolutely not.
A
The house
personal
we
mission
once
then.
belonged to. Personal mission. Personal mission.
Before we embark upon this, though, what are your intentions should we find them?
For the most part, I have no idea. But I really do suspect that the consort for House Versai now was involved in what happened to my father.
Oh, my.
And I want the kind of information I need to make somebody talk.
Oh. Well, if this works out the way I think we'd both like it to, that can be arranged. I can be ready at dawn.
Same.
See you then.
And we picked like a place to meet.
Yeah, you guys work it out.
that
And
stuff,
I think we know what we're doing next session. All right. So, Talus, what are you doing and what are you planning to do?
Talus is gonna look into that into any mention or any let's say within the last like any mentions or any like pings on that old script as far as anything that's decently recent.
Okay. Are you looking for like, okay. Yeah, now that you know what you're looking for, you're trying to track down more uses of it on this world.
Yeah.
Yes. Got him. You have a location. In fact, you have two locations. You have the to and from, because they've been communicating with each other. The one location, that's not true. Two locations remain the same. and they were doing a lot of the receiving.
Mhm.
The sending locations tend to be from all over the planet.
Yeah.
So obviously, the two locations that are the same are going to be the most useful for you. One of them is an island that still belongs to the house that used to run the place, which is
Curious.
House Latan. There we go. One of them is an island that one of the few places here that still officially belongs to House Latan. Another one is a location in the Big Island, just in the city, that you have a location for, but you don't know anything about it. You can spot it on a map, but you'd have to go there or send someone to get more information.
This is sensitive, so I think, you know what, this is something that I can really only trust in myself at this point.
Oh crap! You may be right.
So yeah, I'll go.
Okay. In that case, you will embark on that mission next session, and we'll see how that goes. And that leaves us with Nero.
I have 2.5 things or so.
Okay, good.
And I don't know how much, if any of these, we need to deal with right this moment.
Sure.
Thing one is, again, we don't have to roleplay this at all, but before I leave the Ionos shipyard, I do want to drop that hint with somebody important enough that if they're having issues with area rights with this project they're doing, I can try to talk to the right people to see if we can open some stuff up for them.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. And that's just basically, if I'm following it. I'm following Talus's plan actually for that. Essentially, that she provided.
Good point.
Me with,
okay.
where it was like, I believe that was Talus's plan. Where basically we're gonna watch what potentially seed area rights and see what they do.
Very good. Okay.
Also, but I'm not planting it, but we may want to get some surveillance.
Fair point. Okay.
On Ionos, on the Ionos folks that are involved in that project. Thing next is involves my going to Talus and or at least giving Talus the data that was collected from that I collected, or that we yeah. Where are we? Give Talus the data that Hunter and I collected on our joyride.
Got it.
From the island. Now, there's an important thing that I need to address to figure out how much of that if I'm giving all of the information or not.
Fair point.
And it is a history thing that I need to find out. We need to find out now.
Right. Yeah. That'll take a little. Yeah. I got you.
Well, no. I have to ask you this question.
Oh, okay. Well, yes. Oh, okay. What is it?
All right. Between the former consort and the current consort.
Yes.
Actually, I may have to ask 2 or 3 questions here, real quick.
Fair point. Okay.
Which of them is closer? And there may not be any relation because of the way that we do things, right? But as far as relations go, which one of them is closer to Vangeline?
Oh, the old consort.
Was the old consort now? Did Vangeline have an easier time with the old consort or the current consort?
An easier time with the old one.
Okay. All right.
But easier, by which I mean she feels like she's starting to figure out how the new one works.
Right. Well, yeah, so that's more just an adjusting to.
Yeah. But I mean, on a personal level, she actually just kind of liked the old one a lot.
Yeah.
And isn't really sure She doesn't want to be friends with the new one. She'll tell you that.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
So this is the third and most important question to Nero.
Yeah.
And again, between the two consorts, which of them seemed, from the best that I'm able to tell, which of them seemed to have the most sympathy toward Alexis and what she wanted to do with her life?
Oh, definitely the new one.
The new one had the most
Yeah.
sympathy toward Alexis.
100%.
And what Alexis might want versus what we as a house want for her.
Yeah, she treats Alexis like a niece.
Okay, well, that's my decision then. I'm going to tell Talus about the lock.
Okay.
That's really the most important thing. So I'm going to give
Okay.
Talus all the information. If that is where we are with that, because
Fair enough. Okay.
it's, I was trying to figure out how much when it comes down to between Vangeline and Alexis, if I have to choose one, basically I'm choosing our daughter.
Yeah.
And Grant, I want to try to protect. I like Vangeline a lot. I want to try to protect her as best I can. But yeah. Anyway, I have.
Gotcha. Okay.
This is kind of one of those things where it's like I needed to know which way Nero is leaning on this.
Fair
and
enough.
Where
Okay,
the
I understand.
conflict lies here, because
Yeah, I got you. Okay.
if
Okay.
Nero is, as to whether or not he feels he's going to need to do something about the current regime or not, which apparently he doesn't as much then. So
Maybe not. Yeah.
maybe not.
Yeah.
This could be a terrible mistake he's about to make.
That's always an option. Making
but
some terrible mistakes.
I'm
Yeah.
going to give Talus all of the information
Okay.
about that we gathered from, in particular, the stuff that needs to be puzzled out involves, the scientific research that needs to be probably
Yeah,
sent
with like
to
the
somebody.
algae, et cetera. Right.
Um,
Okay. Yeah. Well. Oh, actually, let me make a note on that because I do need to give once you start really poking into that, I need to give you
said-
at least 3 of you need that information because you're direct. You were directly looking at it.
Important question. Do you say the we part or is it just you when you?
Oh, good one.
Do I say the which part?
Do you mention the fact that you were not alone on that island?
Yeah.
I think it's one of those things where, I'm only gonna bring it up if it seems like it's going to be relevant. I'm not gonna try to. It seems to me that things work better the less people know about what Hunter is doing.
Good. Okay.
So
you know what? Fair point.
I'm not going to bring it up, but if it if it comes up, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
About
Okay.
it. It's one of those things where it's like, no, where it's like, where did you get this lead or that kind of. I'm not going to try to take credit for it.
That would be exactly how Hunter would expect you to act, by the way.
Understood. Yeah, that's kind of that was my feeling too. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, it's probably, from the way that I describe it, it's probably, going to be a thing where if you decide to think about it, it's probably clear that I wasn't there alone. But I probably had somebody. I would have had someone with me, but I'm not. And again, not concealing it, but I'm not gonna.
But not offering the information. Got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not gonna go into it unless it's like I feel like I need to explain that Hunter was also there to.
Works for me. Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
So that's
excellent.
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay, and before we
That's the main
close
thing.
up, I just want to check in with Nicky. Are you good with everything right now, or do you need to mention anything or tell me anything?
No, I think Silas got
Okay,
actually
I
got
just want to
more
make sure.
than
Okay.
what he was expecting.
Actually, it turns out you did. Yeah, that was actually quite good.
Excellent.
The other 1/2 thing. I'm sorry. I just.
Oh,
made it
sorry.
again.
I forgot. Yeah,
We did 2 things. There was the 1/2.
I forgot about the hat.
Involves the near future and my going back to the guild to deal with all of the guild items on my checklist.
That's true, and some of that we may be able to do offline, and the stuff because and the ones that we don't, we'll just hit next session.
Right.
Because it's still the stuff that's on your list, though, right? The stuff you sent me.
It's the stuff that's on my list with
Great.
just a slight addendum to the stuff about the Mentats in that I need to find out who in the guild is talking to them.
Yes, you do. Okay. All right. Well, in that case, with that, we are finished for this session. Thanks, everyone. That was fun. All right. we got a surprising amount done too. That was great. So thanks everybody, and take us out, Jim.
Yay! Awesome. Yeah, no, this is fun. I'm enjoying seeing everything that is happening. This is glorious. And so I can't wait. But we're gonna go ahead and go around and do our outros. Feel free to tell folks, to plug whatever you like. Tell folks where they can find you if you like, and give us any final thoughts you have or favorite bits for this session. We will, as always, start as we're going in reverse order with our GM Brian.
Hello everybody. Thanks again for watching, and thanks to all of you for playing and being awesome. And I am enjoying this game more with each session, and I like the intrigue. I like the stuff everyone's doing. I like all of your characters, and you are you are continuing to surprise me, which is like the best thing that can happen for a game master. So thank you very much for that. So if you want to follow me on stuff, I'm Vaclam on all the things. I'm on Twitter for as long as it lasts. Although I may follow Jen with the abandoning of it, but right now you can still find me on Twitter making really, really bad jokes. Other than that, you can find episodes of my podcast, Armor Goes Clank. Just Google that. We should be the only thing called Armor Goes Clank. And those are kind of the only things I do. Other than that, I show up on Jim's channel and I play things. So again, thanks for watching. And I really enjoy running this game. Thanks.
Yay! Awesome. And now we will head over to Nicky.
All right. Hello, I'm Nick. You can find me on social media on Twitter and Twitch as NickSnat1, capital N's the number 1, and I occasionally stream whenever I can, but I haven't streamed in like a month. But I'm planning to start it up again soon, hopefully. And also, in the last 2 weeks, one of the books that I was a writer on came out. It's called Jacqueline, which is basically Redwall or Guardians of Gahul. You play as animals. So I wrote for 2 of the animal kingdoms. I wrote the Tuskborns, which are like the guardians of the forest boars. And I also wrote the Timberfolk, which are basically hyper-capitalist expansionist beavers. So yeah, if you ever want to play as, animals, then yeah, the book's on I think it's on DM's Guild. It's called Jacqueline, Jaqlaund. There's a lot of materials in it, different animals, and each kingdoms come with their own race and subclass that is tied to that kingdom. But yeah.
That is awesome. Feel free.
Can you spell that into chat? Please.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
And if you got a link or something, then I'd be happy to feel free to toss that in there.
Let me look up the.
That is awesome. I love it. I'm definitely gonna look that up. But very cool. But if you didn't have any other final thoughts or anything for us, then...
And for me, I think the highlight for me is just the fact that I was expecting the trip out to be like what happened last time. Found like a random island, trying to put pieces together. I was not expected to be waylaid by pirates and end up in a trial by combat. So yeah, that was pretty fun.
Very cool. And
I got an ally out of it. So yeah.
So good. Excellent. All right, and now we will head over to Janie.
Hi. I have no idea what I was going to say again. I should really write this down, and I've been told to so many times, and I keep forgetting. So I'm just going to stop talking.
No worries. Thank you so much for jumping in. I very much appreciate it. But it's very cool, very cool. And I really enjoyed that etiquette scene. That was so good. And now we will head over to Jen.
Yeah, like was intimated before, I am not on Twitter. You can't find me there. Ha 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 ha. I am elusive. But if you're going to remain on the burnt out hellscape that is Twitter, follow Play Cancer Away instead of me. It's a place to go and be supported as a cancer patient or contribute to supporting cancer patients. We have stuff in the works that I am still vague enough on that I'm not going to say. You can also see me in, not next Tuesday, but the Tuesday after, in a regular campaign I'm in on graham crackers on that channel at 4:30 Pacific, where I play really sweet and ethical furball druid who doesn't stab people in the back and doesn't steal things, and actually like almost had a breakdown when she had to lie. So range. I do have like one project in the works just to keep your antenna up that I'm going to be running, basically a hack of Brindlewood Bay, sort of Brindlewood Bay, but like gender inclusive and not in that location. On Sword and Key, sometime at the end of February. We're getting things rolling on that, and I have been waiting with this particular group to do this particular game for a year and a half.
Oh, I'm watching that.
So yeah, I'm really excited. It's going to be really fun. Murder mystery with elderly characters, and we're all thinking deeply about why we might want to play an elderly character and what we'd want to bring to that. So it's going to be really cool. That's me. I think that's me.
Yay! Did you have any final thoughts on the session or anything, or did we already do that?
No, we didn't already do that. I'm excited that I think I actually have a way of finding the previous consort, rather than just knowing that the previous consort like has something to do with that place. I'm crossing my fingers and hoping. And if it's not, I'm excited about what it actually is that I'm going to hopefully be able to track down with this tech and blackmail the shit out of House Versai. Sorry, y'all.
This will be very interesting. It's going to be very, very interesting. And now we will head over to Lynn.
Hey everyone. I'm Lynn. Gremlin art pretty much everywhere. There's a social thing. I think I have that handle pretty much everywhere. You can find my art there, and things are going a little slow. Everything's on a little bit of holiday break for the time being, but something coming up. I have some art for the transplanar stuff coming up, so after that. And as far as I love everybody's like separate little machinations going on as far as like trying to get to this, like everyone is going after this like this weird like these hidden bases in this thing in different ways, but I cannot resist a good like duel, so that made me very happy.
That was so good. I love that we got to see played out the trope of basically fighting a group of outsiders to gain their trust. That was nicely used here. That was very cool.
That feels appropriate for Dune too. That feels like setting appropriate.
One duel, I
am a simple person.
It's
I am glad to see that it went over. Good.
Knife fights are very important in the series.
Yeah, tell me about it. There's so many. Very cool, very cool. Awesome. Well, then who am I? I don't know. One day I'll know who that is. But in the meantime, I'm Jim Ryan. You can find me on OtherDoc, on Twitch, Twitter, Hive, Mastodon, and most other social media platforms. Where I'm not OtherDoc, I'm Jim Yes That Jim. My website is jimyesthatjim.com, where you can find my Geek Observation podcast and links to my various other podcasts, audio dramas, writings, and such. I've got links down below to various things that you can see. and get to. I've actually got, I think I've put in a panel actually called links if you want to go to my link tree and find, my links to all my various social medias, social media meteors. Who knows? Anyway, but you can find that there. Here on this channel. So on Friday, we resume we have what is probably going to be the finale of the Outer Veil group that we're running in Don't Rest Your Head. Running 2 groups of Don't Rest Your Head right now. They're both in the Mad City at the same time, and having different effects on things, and it's been a delight running, but we're almost at the finale of this arc for them. This is the first arc of a couple or so. So that group is coming to its conclusion. I think on Friday is when that's going to happen. So I'm very much looking forward to that. On Monday, we have the other group of Don't Rest Your Head, the Inner Circle, and we're also getting pretty close to the end for them as well. They've just come back together, most of them, and they're on a mission for one of the major nightmares in town, the Wax King, to try to find the source of a river that suddenly appeared during the 13th hour. And if they can find that, the Wax King will find them a way out. And that's really what they're looking for, a way out of the city. And so we'll see. We'll see what happens. And then, of course, on Wednesdays, we have this. And I feel as though things are building to a point. And so I'm very interested to see what's going to happen there. So very, very much looking forward to that. So when we hit the end card, I'm going to send a raid over to somebody. I have not looked ahead of time like a good host. So I should probably go and explore some things and figure out who we're going to raid. There are a few people right now who are doing stuff. Lost Caravan, it's probably okay. PB, we'll probably raid one of those folks. And feel free to hang on with us, and once we figure out who it is, and say hi to them, if you so desire. But in the meantime, folks, thank you all very much for watching. Take care, and we will catch you next time. Farewell.